Welcome to the Tipsy Guest Podcast. I am your host, Marco Buenrostro, and every week I'm here with the top industry experts, amazing clients, and all my vendor BFFs to bring you the best tips, advice, and juicy behind-the-scenes stories to make wedding and event planning a breeze. So grab your favorite drink and let's get this party started! Hey guys, welcome back to the Tipsy Guest. I am Marco, your host, and today we're going to be talking about wedding venues. This is the most important part of a wedding, and we have an expert to let us know everything we need to know about booking your venue. Donna Liston from Lambermont Events. Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Happy to have you here.
Yes, it's exciting.
It's been a minute. I've been trying to get you in here, and I know the holidays were, just
all busy.
We were so busy. Oh my God, what a season!
Thank God.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so good. But today we're going to be talking about venues. I mean, you own a wedding venue, and what a wedding venue. Let our listeners know what you do, what your venue is, where it is. Tell us everything.
Sure. Well, Lambermont Event is a historic home built in 1894 that we purchased 16 years ago, spent 3 years restoring for a wedding venue. So everything we did was about our couples. So it has overnight guest rooms. It has a honeymoon suite. It has a hair and makeup room or glam room. So the whole idea is we make our home your home for the weekend of your wedding. And you get to come stay the whole weekend as kind of our specialty. And so it's really, really cool. Close to downtown. We're half a mile from the Pearl. We're on Grayson. So right there in the middle of the action without downtown hassles.
Without the parking situation downtown is chaotic. I love that. Yes, the location is perfect. I was just talking to Donna earlier, before we started recording. I used to live down the street from the venue. I love the area.
Yeah.
The Pearl is just, and it keeps growing and growing and growing.
Absolutely.
You think there's no more space to build anything else, but
and they're doing it.
Yes, every time I drive down there, there's always a new building popping up. So, and I feel like your location is, like you said, it's right there, but it's not in the middle where it's hard to find parking.
Right.
Like, it's just so incredible. I remember we were doing the photo shoot for the for the Aliyah for the Antonian Awards that we were there at.
Yes.
Yeah. So the vibe of the venue is so, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe. How would you describe the vibe of the venue?
Well, because, it's that vintage, but it's not, but it's still indoor modern a little bit, but it's got these beautiful architectural features. And just the house speaks for itself. Inside, from 9 fireplaces in the house.
Oh my gosh.
Those things and this beautiful staircase that has carved wood that nobody can do these days anymore. It's just that. And so that has just given it's a feeling. And when couples walk in to tour, I will never take anybody's money if they have not walked through the home, because it's either for you or it's not for you.
Exactly.
And I want to make sure in their heart it's the right place for them. And you can see on their face when they walk through if it is or it isn't. You either love this historic home that has so much history, and you want to be part of that history.
I love that. And so you said you bought it about 16 years ago.
Uh-huh.
How long have you been in the business in general, just in the wedding or events? You've been in the business.
I'm going to be telling my age when I start doing that. But yeah, I have been in the business almost 40 years.
Wow.
I did children's birthday parties as how I started my business, and then started doing weddings, and I had a retail store that sold all the products for weddings and birthday parties and invitations. And I fell in love with the wedding planning part of it. And I just loved the weddings and loved my couples. And so I even had done weddings for the couples. I did their birthday parties when they were 5, 6, 7 years old.
What?
And now I have done their weddings.
Oh my God. Here, cheers to that.
Cheers, absolutely.
Yum. Oh my goodness. You can tell right away when somebody is passionate about what they do. And honestly, you are one that, I mean, every time I have a conversation with you, I mean, I can tell that you love what you do. You absolutely enjoy it. And that is the best part about hiring a vendor that has a passion for this.
Absolutely. It's not just a job. It is a passion. My daughter is my business partner. And so she and I are running this venue, and it's a family. And our couples become part of our family. Yes, it's definitely a passion for us. I wouldn't be doing it for this long if it didn't love doing it.
I love it. So what would you say are some of the top questions that a couple should ask a venue when they're looking for, for their dream venue? Like what is something that they normally ask you, or what is it something that you recommend to them they should ask?
So first off, I'm going to go on to that one, is I am going to ask couples, and this is when I was a wedding planner and a venue owner now, and there's 3 questions that couples need to really answer to themselves first. But I trigger these questions, and it's like, first, what is that dream wedding? What's the budget? And then what are their priorities? What's important to them? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is the food to you? Then on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is the photography for you? For every vendor, where is it? That's where you're going to put your money. If it's not important to you, either don't do it at all or don't spend a lot of money on it, and put your budget that way. And so where, as a venue owner, if that's what's important to them is, we want to make sure people walk out of our wedding going, oh my God, I've never been to this place. This is so amazing. I can't believe, or when I was here last, it didn't even look like this, because every couple makes it look like their own.
Yeah.
Because no 2 weddings look alike at Lambermont. That's kind of our specialty too.
Love that.
So I want people to walk away from a wedding going, oh my God, this was so them. Them being the couple.
I
representing
absolutely
the couple.
love that.
So those are the questions I really try to get the couples to think about on themselves. Know those answers before you talk to any vendor. Know what those are. Then when you're at questions that you would be asking a venue, well, first off, capacity. Don't even bother going if you have 800 people and it will only sit 100. I mean, don't waste your time on those. Is it the right vibe? The parking, is there convenient parking? A parking for cost money? All of those things. Or is it valet, or whatever those answers are? You need to ask those questions many times. And this is certainly on one of our frequently asked questions is, do I have to use your vendors? And as a venue, when I first opened up the venue, it doesn't matter. And we learned very quickly that it does matter.
It does.
It does matter. And so we have what we call a vendors we love list. It's huge. It doesn't cost the vendors to be on this list like some places do. So that's one question to ask is, how did these vendors get on your list? For us, they've earned their spots. Insurance, we don't allow anybody to step foot on our property if they don't have business insurance, because that tells me they're not running if they don't care about their own business, why would they care about mine to protect it? So they must have insurance, and that protects both the bride and the couple and us. And so, those are one of those things is asking, like, make sure those vendors are covered with insurance. So yes, we have a vendors we love list. It's very large.
Well, that was part of my questions here.
It's very large, and it's from our budget to our high end and everything in between. And that's why it's important to know, what is your budget? As a couple, what is your budget and what are your priorities? Because then I can help direct them which vendors are best for them. So they're not, I think I have 20 caterers on my list.
Wow.
Well, there's no reason to go call 20 caterers if not all those caterers are going to help you. So we help with that too, and that's part of my wedding planning brain still and heart still speaking. That I help with the couples with.
So are you still doing wedding planning, or are you strictly just managing your venue?
So we're really managing the venue, but with our expertise as being a planner, we help with scheduling. We help with helping the 30 days out, working with the schedules and things like that. I don't go to appointments with the couples. I'm not going to go to sit down and do their tastings with them. So I'm not a full coordinator, but we certainly bring in our expertise of having that knowledge to our clients.
And I like that because you know every vendor in town.
Right.
You have been around for a while. You have created so many connections with so many different vendors. Right now that you mentioned, that your vendor list it's pretty wide.
Right.
I think that is so good because people don't know what they don't know.
Right.
They just follow vendors on social media, and they sometimes, like you said, it might not go with their budget.
Right.
So knowing the vendors and knowing more or less how much they charge or what level of services they provide, I think this will make you very different from other venues.
Right.
Because the industry, the vendors, you've worked with many of them.
Right.
So it is great. I think it's a great thing when a couple comes to in this case you, for example, and you give them advice. You're not just trying to sell them your venue. You're giving them advice in general when it comes to the wedding. I think that's pretty cool.
Right. One advice I give to my couples, it's probably against every sales 101 pitch for venues. And it's like, go look at other venues.
Yeah.
Go. I am not going to tell you this price is only for today. I'm going to tell you, go look at other venues. Go make sure in your heart this is the right place. If it is, we'd love to have you. But I will also tell them, if there's a couple, or if there's a vendor that is, give me your money now, give me your money now, give me your money now. The special is only good if you're sitting here right now.
Red flag.
Red flag. Walk away. There's just been, if they're that desperate to get your deposit, they're paying yesterday's bills.
Yeah.
Not the futures. Will they be around in the future when your wedding comes around? And we all know that has happened. This is, from intentional and unintentional, that this is the industry we live in, and not everybody will survive.
Yeah, I think, like me personally, I don't like to be pushy.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like, sometimes the people ask me, because I talk to other vendors
Sure.
and I talk to other photo booth owners, and they're always asking me like, hey, how often do you follow up with, with couples when they reach out to you for, just as an inquiry? And I'm like, you know what? I don't really follow up a lot. And they're like, why? And I'm like, well, because I feel like if they want me, they want me.
Right.
I'm going to they reach out through their website or Instagram or anything asking for prices or send me an inquiry form. Yes, of course. I'm going to send them pricing. I'm going to send them a quote. Whatever they want, I'm going to send it to them. But I am not going to be that vendor that's going to email you every 2 days or every, I don't know.
Have you decided?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like, I want to give them their space and their time, because more than likely, if they message me to inquire about a photo booth for their wedding, they probably messaged 3 other vendors.
Right.
And I think that they're going to notice if I'm the pushy one, they're going to scratch me off right away. They're going to be like, no, he's too annoying. He's too pushy. But if they, I feel like if they really like you, they like you, and they're going to come back to you without the need of you like pressuring them into booking, right?
Right. Yeah.
What is... I guess, like, what are some of the requirements to book the venue? A retainer, I'm assuming, to save the date, and then payment options. How does that work?
Absolutely. So we don't even call it a retainer. Our first payment on most packages are like $1,000.
Okay.
You put your $1,000 down, and then we break the balance into monthly payments, with the last payment due 30 days before the wedding. And we email an invoice. I love Square. I invoice every month.
So easy.
and we don't even have, it's due on a particular day of the month. I'm going to send it on to you on the 1st. And as long as the payment's made that month, we're good.
I love that.
And
you're not like so corporate. Like you're pretty flexible.
We have to be. In this world, every couple is different.
Yeah.
And, not everybody gets a paycheck every Friday. Not everybody so we're really trying to be flexible. At the very beginning, I thought I was doing it just as a favor for the couples, and then realized, oh my gosh, this is also a great cash flow
for you,
for me, because my slower months, I'm still sending invoices out. I'm still getting money in instead of huge chunks at a time. And so it's worked out for all of us doing it that way.
Yeah, I think that is the best way to do it, Because, I mean, they have so many vendors that they have to work with, and everybody, I'm sure, like, it's a different payment plan. It's a different, everyone is different. In this case, I do payment plans as well. Like, we just get the X amount of money to save the date. And then I tell my couples, I'm like, you can pay me however you want, as long as everything is paid 30 days before.
Absolutely.
You can do whatever you want. You can send me $100 a month. You can send me $300. You can pay half, whatever you want. Just, we need to make sure that it's covered 30 days before.
Right.
And I mean, there's been exceptions, where, we push it a little farther than the 30, like, like 2 weeks before or whatever. But, that's a case by case, of course.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the facility, you mentioned earlier, people can stay, rent it for the weekend, for the week or whatever. Do you also do just like Airbnb experiences for the house itself, or is it specifically for events and weddings? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so we are listed on Airbnb. So if I don't have a wedding or summertime when it's slower, we are on Airbnb. So a lot of times just on our Facebook page, we'll go, oh, we just opened it up for the next 3 weeks, or whatever. So it's not on a regular basis because obviously I want my weddings first.
Of course.
But we did, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of couples that just find us on Airbnb and come stay. And so there might be 3 different couples in different rooms.
Wow.
And it's just a great opportunity. And they sit on the porches and have wine. And
like that. See, to our listeners, there's a tipsy pro tip today. Maybe you can book an Airbnb experience with the Lambermont before you even pick that as your venue, because that way you get to experience it.
Absolutely.
I like that. Yep. And then, so the venue is a non-traditional venue, I'm going to say, because there's not an actual ballroom.
That's correct.
So how can you walk me through a wedding? Like, what happens where in the venue?
Sure. So, and like I say, no 2 weddings are exactly alike, but most couples will have a ceremony outside, out in the yard. We have lots of different locations, so it's not even, it's only in that one location. They get to choose because the chairs are set up the way they want them set up. And then cocktail party inside, and then back outside for dinner and dancing. So we're on an acre of land, so there's so much grass area out there. If they want a tent, they can tent. If they want it open air, they open air. We've got brick patios that they can use as dance floors. So that's just really how they want it. Where do you want your bar set up? Do you want past hors d'oeuvres, or do you want a buffet? And so how they want to do it is how they want to do it.
I love it. Yeah. And then for, I guess for just the vendors as well, because I always, me as a wedding vendor,
right.
I always ask about the load-in situation for vendors. How easy is it for the vendors to access the different areas. Of the venue? So
we are on, a corner. So we have 2 different entrances from a side street and a back street. So it's actually, we're kind of 4 on there because we've got an alley, side street, and a driveway. With a handicap ramp in the back. So that's our load in if you're in the house to be able to use this ramp to get in and out. We ask all vendors to park at a church parking lot next door, leaving the better parking for our clients. So we have a parking lot and then free street parking and then this parking lot next door. So it's probably not, it's not back up to a back door and unload immediately type thing. This is also why we schedule that 30 days out with all the vendors, so we're not on top of each other and how people come in and out. We have just had this situation where we've talked about, like, I want all vendors from even a photo booth. You may not be open for another 3 hours, but you can't be unloading in the middle of the wedding.
Exactly.
And so, they had to tell people, like, no, like, it may cost you a little bit extra, but that's got to be set up. Then go change clothes. Yeah, before. I want what we call camera ready.
Yeah.
30 minutes before the wedding starts, before guests arrive there, because we want to make sure that, because if not, it makes it look like you're late.
Oh my God. I was just going to say, that is one of my pet peeves. Like, I cannot, when I see vendors showing up in the middle of the event, like, it is so, everybody owns their own business and everybody's different. Right. But I just feel like it's so unprofessional to show up when the wedding is already happening. Like, people ask me, like, when they're booking my photo booth services, they're like, when do you set up? I'm like, girl, we set up early in the day. And we leave.
Right. Go away.
We're always going to set up before your first guest arrives. Like, we are going to be there early on. We're going to set up. We're going to leave. And then we're going to come back probably like 30, 40 minutes before our start time. You are never going to see us setting up as people are having dinner or as you're getting married and we're going to be distracting. No. Like, that is a big no for me. I just can't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It just, like I say, it looks bad. And it looks like, they're running late. So, as couples need to make sure that they're telling, like, just because you're not opening your photo booth up until 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
No. Your wedding starts at 5.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of the times
communication.
Exactly. Communication is key. And a lot of the times, the couple knows. Let's say, for example, they come to an agreement where, like, yeah, that's fine. You can set up as we're having dinner. But that's an agreement between you and the couple. But me, as a business owner, even though the couple agreed on that, all the other people are going to think that I'm arriving late.
Right.
They're going to be like, oh my God, look at this photo booth showing up late.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't deal with that. So yes, definitely, there's another tipsy pro tip.
There we go.
Make sure, couples out there, make sure that you, communicate with your vendors. And I would say make arrangements for early setups. Like Donna said, it might cost you just a little bit more. But it is, at the end of the day, it's going to work for you because you don't want distractions as you're doing your first dance or the toast or as you're getting married or, just right there. Just talk to them.
Yep.
Talk to them and do it. I promise you, it's worth it.
Yep.
And Donna, so have you ever had to make last minute changes to where, let's say it's an outdoor celebration, but then weather here is crazy. So what happens? I mean, are you able to facilitate where everything gets moved inside?
So it's going to depending on what their guest list is. As my wedding planner hat comes on at the very beginning when I'm talking to a couple with plan A and plan B. And let's talk about that at the very beginning. If you have 150 people, I can't put 150 people inside the house. So you're going to need a tent if we go to plan B. Put it in the budget now. Go figure out who's going to do it, what day you have the trigger for, and like you put a deposit down on a tent that it's like your insurance. You may lose the money, but you are guaranteed to have it and be honest with your rental company from day one of this is my plan B. What do I need to do? And so that's basically what I'm telling people is always know what plan A and plan B is. Couple I just met with the other day, they only have 80 people. She really wants it outdoor, but we can move 80 people indoor instead.
Yeah.
And so she was very confident knowing, okay, if I had to move it indoor, I will, because she wants February of 2026. And, we just don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
We never know what the weather's going to be like. We just don't. So just always know plan A, plan B.
Have a backup.
Have your backup. Know what it is, what it's going to cost you.
I love that. And okay, Donna, so we are running out of time, but I guess the best question we're going to save it for the very last few minutes here. How much? I mean, is every day of the week the same amount? You don't have to be specific with numbers, of course.
Sure.
But is it different if it's a Saturday versus a Friday versus a Tuesday? How is that?
Our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is less money. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the same because I can only do one wedding a weekend usually. So it doesn't matter if you come in Thursday to Saturday or Friday to Sunday or Saturday to Monday.
Yeah.
On that. So on our weekend packages. But we also have got these intimate wedding packages that is less than 50 people and you're only there for 3 hours. So it's just a ceremony, a glass of champagne, a cake, for a toast, maybe a first dance, and you're done.
Wow.
So, they can go anywhere from $3,500 to $30,000 for something that includes all the food and all of that. So, that $30,000 is a much, much larger one that, like I say, it has from a cocktail party, the food for the cocktail party, the wedding, brunch the day after, your full weekend full of everything. But that average one, is right in that $13,000 range for a weekend, Friday to Sunday. And again, yeah, we will customize some, but we have so many packages on our website that and we just kind of redid some of them because we were listening to couples.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden they wanted, well, we only have 50 people, but we still want to dance.
Yeah.
And so we've adjusted that one. So, yeah, our pricing kind of varies on those. Okay. We will be, we're doing open houses. The people can come out and look at all of that. And lots of different shows and things like that. So hopefully we'll get to see people. One other little tip that I'd like to tell couples that I do tell when they sit down is come up with an email address that you only use for weddings.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get bombarded with emails. We were just talking about, you don't email them and email them and email them, but they do. So they're out there doing that. So that way, when the wedding is over with, it's done. They never look at it again. Yeah. They only look at that email when they're in wedding mode. And so that's just one tip. Just come up with an email address that you only use for weddings.
I love that. And just to add to Donna's point, you don't ever have to look at it again. But I will suggest definitely look at it a week or two after the wedding. Absolutely. Just to make sure, because a lot of the times us as vendors, we send you an email asking for a review.
Yes.
Which reviews are very important to us as vendors because that's how people know how we did.
Right.
So definitely create an email for your wedding specifically so that you don't have to hear from us ever again. But definitely check your email after the wedding because most of the time, us as vendors, we do request.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ask, to kindly leave us a review if we did okay. We want to make sure that other couples see, that we did really good at your wedding because that's how we get our business as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, referrals are huge for us and those Google reviews and all of that.
They help a lot.
They do.
Yeah, well, Donna, thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Of course. How can our couples find you? On social media, website, phone number?
So, our Lambermontevents.com is our website and lots of things there. If they want to book an appointment, they can do that right on our website. We have an appointment app there. And then, of course, we're on Facebook and Instagram and all. My daughter handles those because I'm the old one in the
Shout out to Erica.
Yes, Erica. But we're on all of that under Lambermont Events.
Perfect. And we'll make sure to have your website and your social media links on the show notes as well. So make sure you guys follow them. Make sure you guys follow us and tell your engaged BFFs about the podcast. We're here every single week. If you guys have any questions, send us a DM, go to our website, send us an email. We would love to have your favorite vendor on the podcast, so make sure you let us know who you want us to have next. Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you.
Let's cheers one more time. Salud. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to the Tipsy Guest podcast. If you know someone who could benefit from these tips, spread the love and share it with them. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Next round's on us. Same time, same place. Cheers! This podcast is brought to you by MVP Photo Booth, the #1 photo booth rental company in San Antonio, Austin, and Central Texas.